I'm coming. I promise. I need to find the remote so I can not be copyrighted. Okay, hi guys. I hope you guys are doing well. I just wanted to sit down and like do a video on whatever I did last night. Literally, I might just do a skit about this. I'm in my bed, right? And I see on Netflix, if you guys want to watch it, just to rewatch it and to kind of like observe your old childhood favorite movies. One of mine was The Cinderella Story, featuring Hilary Duff and I believe, what's his name? But his name in the movie is Austin, but his real name, I don't know. I just watched it purely because it was my favorite childhood movie. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know, I was just like, I have a different mindset now. Like as a kid, I didn't know any better. You know, if I was listening to a song that was about death, I loved it, but I didn't understand it. I love the beat of it, I love the sound of it, it's so catchy. And then when you re-listen to that song now, at my age or older, you're like, oh wow, I really jammed out to that song. So basically, this video is going to be reviewing my childhood favorite movies. So, I'm not a reviewer, I'm not a critic. I'm just telling you in advance. I don't have no experience analyzing certain scenes, what they totally mean, but by my own opinion and how I view it now as to before. So let's just start this off with a little review of the movie to kind of give a recap of what happened, what kind of movie it is. If you haven't seen it already, you have until December 31st to check it out on Netflix. This is not sponsored, I wish, but if you want to go ahead and rewatch it, if it was one of your favorite movies, go ahead and go on Netflix, rewatch it, and then come back to this video so then we can kind of like see if we have some comparisons with what I learned during the movie and what I took after it as well. So, the movie is mainly about this girl who, this little girl starts off with a little girl named Sam Montgomery. She has her father was her best friend. They did everything together. Everything was sweet. Everything was life. Everything was good. It was her birthday. Her dad owns a diner. Everybody loved that diner. It's just her environment as a child was just like amazing. Like she couldn't ask for anything else. But her father ended up marrying someone to make him probably happy. But, you know, he probably did what was best for Sam to really marry another mother. I don't know what happened to her other mother. The OG mother. I don't know what happened to her because they never mentioned her. She becomes a stepmother, and then, you know how this goes. This is a Cinderella story. 2 stepsisters, and an earthquake happens in her hometown, which results in her father dying and her being alone with her stepmother and her 2 stepsisters. And because her father didn't leave a will, she didn't own anything, so her stepmother owned the diner, the house, and even her. So basically, this whole entire movie is about her, you know, catering to her stepmother, her stepsisters, always having a best friend encouraging her, knowing what she deserves and like what she deserves truly, you know, and to work hard so that she can get out of that situation and out of that controlled environment. And then along comes a boy, and they show a common interest towards each other. They're living in a controlled like life as teenagers right now. That's why they're able to connect and they're able to text and really enjoy their company and probably think about, oh, this is probably like a really nice girl that I want to meet and see if like I want to date her and stuff. So they both impacted their lives to kind of like offer an escape for both of them for the meantime until they have to get back to their lives and things that they need to do. And that's when there's a Halloween party and she goes to dress up, and this guy, he's popular, breaks up with his girlfriend because he knows that he wants to have something real with this girl, Sam and Austin. So Sam dresses in a princess dress. This is a long review. What am I doing? I'm like doing it scene by scene. But basically, Sam runs off. She leaves her phone. Austin Ames picks it up just like a glass slipper shoe. And then in the end, everything gets revealed to who she is. And because he's popular, that blindness that people have, they think that they have the perfect life, that they need to be living a certain one. That when they see people like Sam who are like real in their problems, they don't consider her as an option. So she was basically, Austin was blind to see that it was her all along. So when he did find out, he was a wuss, and he didn't do anything. He didn't tie back to her. So she took things into her own hands and was just like, I'm gonna change my life because I deserve better, and I know I deserve better. But you're too scared to do all of this shit. So you know what? I'm gonna go and live my life the way that I want to. You can go ahead and live the life that your parents already planned out for you. Good luck. So in these events, she goes to the basketball game with her friend, her friend Carter, and they both watch the football game until it comes to a point where she can't handle herself because the crowd is cheering, Austin, Austin, Austin. He's like, you know what, I can't do this, let me leave. And Austin has been checking her out in the crowd, knowing that she was there. And the minute that she's leaving, he left too, off that field onto as a kid, this was magical. Left the field. His dad was like, what are you doing? You're giving up on your dream. And guess what he says? No, I'm giving up on yours. That stings, right? That stings. And he runs onto the bleachers. And then as soon as Sam and Austin were in the same parallel of each other, Austin was like, Sam! And Sam turned around and was like, oh! And then he walked up to her, and she's like, what are you doing? He's like, something I should have done a long time ago. And then boom, they kiss. End of story. They go off to college. She finds the will in her name in one of her favorite childhood books. Revokes all the money that Fiona, which is her stepmother's name, took. Sold her car for Princeton money. That's the school, the college that she wanted to go to. It's gonna sell the house and make the diner as it was when her father was alive, and named it after him. So everything happens for a reason, and everybody dispersed. And Austin came around with his father and supported his idea of going to Princeton, instead of following his dad's dreams of always being recruited and playing USC for football and then helping out with the business. He wants to go and do something more poetic. He wants to be a poet. Go Austin with him. Y'all had a great ending, and this is a recap. I know this was very long. I don't want this video to be long, so I'm going to cut the chase to the things that let me first, okay, that was the recap. Now I'm about to tell you, as a kid, this is what I thought about the movie. This is gonna be simple and sweet. I basically was like, this is so sweet. I want to find a guy like Austin, someone who's a football player, who has emotions. But movies are movies. They're not realistic. So I was always like, I wanted to find my true, love in high school. A guy that's going to take me real and love me. And, he doesn't know that I'm good for him yet, but he will know soon. So that's how I took an approach from it. Because it was so nice. It was so sweet. And it's, out of a movie. There's nothing like this that would happen in real life. Only if, I don't know what to tell you. But that's how I looked at it as a kid. But now, 22 years of age, I'm rewatching this movie. And I've unlearned a lot of things. since then. I've learned how different perspectives are, how people's intentions are clear from the beginning if you just see it. So I just saw a lot more than I did as a kid because I didn't understand these certain feelings. So I was just like, move on to the next scene. I want to move on to the ending where Austin and Sam kiss, you know? So, what did I write down? I literally wrote notes on notes on notes. So, what are we going to start off with? So, Sam is a sad girl living a controlled life, as I said before. And because her father's not there, she doesn't have no leverage, no power and whatsoever with her family, her step family. And because of this, her mother wants to deteriorate any power that she might want, that Sam might want. So for instance, she always puts her down. She always makes sure that she's in a restricted schedule so she doesn't think anything more that she can accomplish. So work at the diner, Sam. Clean my jacuzzi. Clean my pool. So she's already in that mindset that this is forever. Like, she can't just say no, because then where's she's gonna go? What is her stepmother gonna do next? Is she gonna torture her? So this is the routine that she's been conditioned in for so many years since her father died. I don't know what age, but she looked like she was 9. So that's how her stepmother gets power from other people. Even people at the diner, she mistreats them to make them feel low of themselves, so she feels so high of herself. Because she has this diner, she has a big house, she has a nice car, her body looks tight, her face looks amazing, her pedicure is nice. She wants to be on top and she wants everybody below her. And that's how she wants her power from now on. Because before, when she got together with Sam's father, she probably had other people treating her like that. So the cycle just repeats, and now that she has all this money, she can do shit like that. So, okay, let's talk about Sam's best friend, Carter. Everybody loves Carter. I don't know if I can insert pictures. I'll insert pictures of like the characters that I'm talking about, so then at least you have an idea, and then when you go to the movie, you know who I'm talking about, if you've never watched the movie. But Carter, Sam's best friend, is amazing. He is a geek just like Sam. You know, he doesn't live in a controlled environment, but he's trying to pursue his dreams, same as Sam. And I feel like they probably relate to each other, and they're just best friends to each other. They don't need anybody else. So it's that kind of connection that when Carter sees Sam, you know, having Fiona, her stepmother, call her constantly, he's like, you know, you need to work hard, you need to keep on. Like, he encourages her to keep going, you know, instead of like settling for that life that her stepmother already has planned for her. So I feel like they both help each other out. Like, even with him, because he's a geek, he's not as attractive, you know, as people would say back then, but he had crushes and he'd want to, you know, confront, you know, like certain people, like a very popular girl, but everybody knows that he would never get her, but he believes so strongly that he would. So, you know, they both encourage each other on the other side, being more confident, doing what they need to, and being careful, and just being a simple, like, high school best friend, and just doing silly stuff and just getting along. So everybody wanted a Carter, or a female best friend, whatever you prefer. But me, I wanted a Carter. I never had a best friend like that. I have friends, but again, I grew up differently, and we're not gonna get into that. Okay, let's talk about Austin. Austin is the popular guy / closet poet. So Austin is popular. What I like to say is that popularity is a bit blinding, and in general, it can happen in movies or in real life, but you can see the contrast, that people are so blinded that they're so popular that they look like they have no problems, and they probably don't. Big problems that they're dealing with. So their life is just simple and they get everything they want and yada yada yada. And they're cool and they're able to make friends unlike anybody else, so they don't have much problems. But that's just my overview of being popular. It could be different. People could be going through stuff and they're still popular in school. It's just, for me, when you're popular, like in movies, you can see there's like a blindness because like it separates the cool people from the regular people that don't get it as easy, you know? But basically, Austin has been in this bubble of popular people, and now that he's been talking to Sam via email, he's been kind of getting out of that group a little bit so that he can start thinking about things that are more important than just hanging around the popular people and doing what popular people do best. But he's trying to gravitate towards Sam and be like, you know what, I do want to be a poet, you know, but my dad wants me to go for football, all that stuff. I don't think he says this to her yet, but it's just like, my life is planned out, but I can't be a poet. And Sam kind of helps him. They both encourage each other too, to kind of like be better and choose the right decisions for their life now, you know, because high school's about to be done. What are you going to be doing? Like, what are you going to be happy actually doing, you know, instead of in this stuck, controlled life that they both have, you know? So Austin has been trained to go to, you know, since he was little, to go to football, go to USC, and then finish his term there and go back to the car wash business with his dad to run it for the rest of his life if he wants to. Not if he wants to, he has to. What am I saying? He has to. Same with Sam. Like, her stepmother wants her there for life to cater for them until they die. Ugh. So, and I want to just slight mention Sam's sisters. I forgot their names because they're the most irrelevant characters in this movie. So they're basically a replica of their stepmother, but because they don't have money yet, I don't know. They have money, but they're not cool. They're not popular. They're trying to downplay other people and make other people like them, and it's just a weird. It's just they think so highly of themselves that they deserve to be in a position, but they just end up looking stupid. And what did I write in here? And they're unpopular, making themselves their own breed. Like, they're trying to be something that they can't, that they're not. So, that slight mention. But yeah, Sam and Austin, they get a connection because they're suffering towards the same problem. So they're their only escape, almost. So when it comes to the dance, when Austin proposed to meet him at the Halloween dance, they met, and throughout that whole entire scene, it was beautiful. It was simple. There was no problems. It was just them getting to know each other, and you could see like her interest, you know, evolving in his interest evolving as well as they're talking in person. And remind you, they've been talking emails for probably months, you know. So now to me, everything is just kind of like close the deal for Austin and probably for Sam. But it's an escape. It's a wonderful moment. It's one of my favorite moments in the movie. But then again, reality hits. She needs to be by the diner by a certain time because her stepmother didn't want her to go to the Halloween party at all, to have any joy that she might have. So she snuck out to go to the party and meet him, and now it's hitting that time and she needs to rush over to make sure that she doesn't get caught and she doesn't get in trouble. So that's when reality hits and they're back into their lives, and without no introduction towards each other, they are still anonymous. They don't know who they are, and Austin is desperate to find this female. And Sam, I don't know if she's ready to say who she is because she doesn't know if Austin's gonna take her as she is, because she knows that Austin now, which was Nomad, is Austin Ames, the most popular guy that's gonna play football and end up at USC playing football as well. And she's just a nobody, and she doesn't know if he's gonna like her the same, because she's not all glittered up and glammed out, you know? As she was at the party. There are times in the movie that Sam truly gives up, you know? Right after Austin Ames finds out that his Cinderella is Sam, he just looked at her and looked away. You know, like he didn't know what to react. He didn't know what to do. And because Sam was waiting for him to kind of he looked at her like, oh, you're unsatisfied of who I was. You were probably picturing like someone, like she said, Malibu Barbie. He was picturing somebody like that. So she got extremely hurt by this. So her esteem was way down, to the point where her diner and Carter, the diner family and Carter, really helped her during this time to realize that, like, don't let this life control you, you know, because you didn't get the guy and you thought that he was everything, and you know Fiona's still treating you like this. You shouldn't feel like this lasts forever. You shouldn't, because they're just like, you're blessed. You're blessed to have a family in this diner and need to look after you. You know, regardless of what Fiona and your stepsisters are telling you to do, you deserve better, and I know you deserve better. You just have to stick to your school and do whatever that it takes. And if I need to help you, I'll help you. And I love that community to kind of like keep her strong, you know, because she doesn't have her dad anymore. So she's kind of fending for herself, but in the meantime, her diner friends and Carter help her out a little bit. And I kind of love that. Yeah. Recapping. So when she goes to that low point in the movie, she finally realizes something her dad used to say. You know, don't let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. That's what her dad told her a long time when she was little. And in this moment, when she remembered that quote, she was just like, you know what? I wrote it down right here. But in the end, she needed to remember that she never deserved this controlled life, knowing that her dad would want her free and happy and confident and fulfilled. And in this moment, that's what she did. She literally was just like, you know what? I quit this family. Like, I'm done taking care of you. I'm done taking care of you. And I have no money for college. I have nowhere to live. But it's you that I feel sorry for. Quote. This is just that little part. It's you I feel sorry for. And because of that, one of her diner, what's her name? I know her name. It's not coming to me. But one of her diner friends was just like, you know what? You can live with me. And I've been staying with this diner, and I was waiting for you to quit so that I can beat her. So it was a whole scene, but she had the courage to go up to her stepmother and be like, you know what, you're not going to treat me like this. You're not going to continue to use me and use me and use me and use me. I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with this diner. And best of luck to you, but I'm going to start living my life regardless if I have enough money, if I'm truly going to go to Princeton like I wanted to, and I'm going to take control into my life. And that was a beautiful scene. And even with her, she wanted to take full control of her life to the point where she needed to say some things to Austin too. Because Austin put her in a box. He didn't come up to her and was like, oh my God, you're Sam, you're Princeton girl. I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you sooner. He didn't do nothing. He had no contact after he just found out that it was Sam, turned back around, haven't said a word to her. So she felt like she was already put in a box because she felt like he wasn't enough for her. So he went into the locker room. Yes, it's in the movie. She went into the locker room to talk to Austin and tell him that, like, I was brave enough to wake up. All the things that we've talked about over message. You being a poet, me going to Princeton, me getting out of my controlled life. I did it. But what about you, huh? Like, I can't wait for you. you know? Because waiting for you is like waiting for rain in this drought. Useless and disappointing. So she already told him that, like, I'm ready to move on with my life and I'm not gonna let other people carry me back, including you. So I'm gonna just tell you how it is, and that's it. She left, and that's it. Everything, she felt more fulfilled. She felt a little free, but upset that she wasn't able to, I don't know, help him in some way, you know, and that, you know, he's stuck in that, you know, but she can't make that decision for him. He needs to make it for himself. So at the end, like I said in the review in the beginning, he realizes that he's gonna give up this football game that he's playing in. He's gonna run to Sam, and he's gonna know that if he stays with her, he's gonna be his truest self, unlike continuing the narrative that other people put him as. You know, popular football player. He wants to be less than that, you know. So he risked it all and told Sam that, you know, you don't have to wait for me anymore because I'm ready for you now. Like, I'm making this decision right now. We're both gonna go to Princeton. We're both gonna pursue what the things that we need to do. And that was just completely beautiful, and everything revealed at the end too. You know, Sam finding her will, to her diner, to her house, and all the money that Fiona was hiding. She hid the will from Sam so that she could have this selfish power, you know. That really shows you what God can really like do in reverse. But this is a movie, so. But just an example. So she has enough money to go to Princeton. Her stepmother and stepsisters are facing the consequences, and one of her family friends are owning the diner while she's going to college and living her life. And Austin, his dad eventually came around. It's just, there's a lot of fears that we do have to talk about, that it comes to a point where if you really have a good discussion with your parents, they could probably eventually understand and know that if it does make you happy, then they'll be able to accommodate and change their mind, so they see you happy and do what you want to do in life, you know? It's not their life to control yours for. So, okay, yeah, that's the whole movie. And just one more thing before I end this video, I wanted to do my relatability to it now. Before, it was just like, oh, hearts and rainbows, oh, such a great movie, so romantic, I want that to happen in my life, to this point where now I think of this movie as, this is a great example of, if you feel like you're in a controlled environment, if you're stuck, you know, make that risk that you need, that you're so scared to do, and you never know where it could lead you. You know, and that you shouldn't let any man hold you back to who you are supposed to be. Anyone that should hold you back. And Sam really showed a strong spirit when she's been weak all this time, you know. She's been Sam, but she's been mature Sam. But then after everything that was going on, it was becoming too much, she took action, she took maturity, and she was like, you know what, I'm done. I deserve better, and I'm leaving this situation, including Austin. I don't want to be around somebody who's still living that life that I used to live. I want to continue forward, and I don't need you holding me back. So it was really brave of her, very strong of her to even do that, and it was great watching this movie. It was really great, you know, to look at it from an adult's point of view now, you know, because I related to it so much because I lived in a controlled environment. I had strict parents growing up. So I felt like I couldn't like even go to parties without like having an early curfew, or going out with friends constantly because my parents were like, oh, we need to be their friends. And I couldn't even invite anybody over because it was kind of boring at my house. It was like nothing fun to almost do. But yeah, I related to this a lot, and it made me feel free in a way. You know, seeing Sam kind of like conquer her obstacles. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review. I know it's probably going to be lengthy, I don't know, but I really hope that you can watch this movie before the 31st if you do see this movie, if you do see this video before the 31st of 2022. But that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope that this could probably help you kind of like go back to your childhood movies that you used to watch like constantly and just see what the message is, you know? Because before, as kids, we don't know what anything is, but now that we're adults, we can reevaluate certain situations and see why it related to us so much as a kid. And I feel like that's very special and something to hold dear to, and I love that. But thank you for watching the video. Subscribe, like, and comment if you want to see more videos, any type of video that you want me to start to create. But if you made it to the end, I want you to comment maturity. I want you to comment maturity because we're now mature enough to even talk about stuff like this and realize it and talk about it. So comment maturity, and just a hint for my next few videos, I'm gonna start doing a series on my life in my 20s. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna be calling it as, but I hope that whatever that I'm creating, that it's going to resonate with you guys and that it kind of helps you towards your 20s decisions, because right now I'm kind of living a different life than other 20-year-olds, and I feel like other people could relate to what I'm doing. So stay tuned, subscribe, like and comment, please. I'd really love to hear everybody's feedback, what kind of videos you want me to make, so I can have my video boosted to other people that might like it like you. But I really hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you for staying tuned to the end. It makes me feel special if you have reached it to the end. But I wish you all a great day and a happy holidays and Merry Christmas and New Year's Eve.